Oh yeah, back at you, back at you. This is all happening to me now. I was unaware of this award, and I am deeply honored, and I'm stunned, and I mean it. It's really, you know, it's great to have all this excitement before anyone's seen the movie, which is kind of really scary. But we're going to proceed. Or why don't we just leave? It is an honor. It's first of all great to be here. It's been like 100 years since I've been here. I played here at the Curran Theater many years ago, and I have to tell you, it's just coming out of me now because you know I don't ever prepare for anything like this. I just don't. I've gotten in trouble so many times because of it. But that's okay. I'm going to keep going. I remember doing a play here, American Buffalo, at the Curran Theater. It was a wonderful experience. It was great to be here and play here for about 8 weeks. And I remember at the time, a very controversial film I made opened. And it was called Scarface.
Yeah!
Which was criticized and roundly dumped, and it was just, and then it went on, and there were the Oscar nominations, and nothing happened for Scarface, and nothing happened ever for Scarface, except boo. And, but it's still here, you know, it's good. It's doing very well. But I remember the people of San Francisco were outside my theater when I didn't get nominated, and completely I understood why I didn't. It was fine, but they were out there and they didn't like that, so they brought me my favorite award. The people of San Francisco gave me an Oscar about that size. Really, they did. It is in my room, my living room in New York, in my house. And I've never forgotten, anybody asks, where's your Oscar? I say, there, it's right up there. From the people of San Francisco.
Oh!
I really love it. I never got over it. I will now move on to Oscar Wilde and why I'm here, why you're here to see this. We've been to, we went to Venice, Italy, we showed it there at the festival. We've just come back from Dublin, we showed it in Dublin. And my dream is to take these kind of experiments that I do occasionally. I did one that turned out pretty well because I've done about 4 or 5 of these films. I've been fortunate enough to have, be lucky enough to have success in some of these movies. And it's allowed me the privilege to go on and experiment with things in film, which really fascinates me. I love the stage, I'm a stage actor, but I love to engage in film and try to find something to express in it. And so I do these films that you're about to see. I've done about 4 or 5 of them, but only one of them seen the light of day, and that has been Looking for Richard. I don't know if you're aware of that. I was honored that that had actually gone on to the marketplace and actually went out and people saw it in the world. But most of my stuff just sort of stays in some vault. No. But it stays somewhere, you know. And hopefully one day my children, as a legacy, will talk about it. I want them morning shows. And but as far as this goes, I don't know what I was doing. Somebody asked me, wow, that passion. I said, I was just being driven by not knowing, you know, what I was doing. And I kept trying to find out. And as they say, if you persist in your folly, one day you will be wise. Well, I don't think that's happened yet, but we're on the way. Anyway, I want to say that with the help of Barry Navidi, who's the producer of this movie, with the help of this great new actress that you'll see, and her name is Jessica Chastain, if you haven't seen her before. You know, she was the reason I actually ventured into this. Of course, Oscar Wilde and her. I fell in love with Oscar Wilde's play 15 years ago in London watching a Stephen Berkoff production, which was fabulous. It was fabulous. And he caught the very aura of the play and got underneath it. And I remember sitting there not knowing it was Oscar Wilde who wrote this play, Salome. I was used to all the others, you know, Importance of Being Earnest, all the different things that he has done, his novels, his books, Dorian Gray, etc., etc. I loved him, I thought he was great. But Salome, and there it was, and as I'm watching this thing, I'm thinking, who wrote this? And I've been in the theater my whole life. I didn't know the play Salome existed. I did know the opera existed, but I never thought there was a play. And actually, it was Oscar Wilde. So when I looked at my program at the end of the play, you can imagine where I was at, and I didn't even look at who wrote it. But I saw it was Oscar Wilde. And during the play, I remember thinking, this playwright is talking to me. I could feel something in this person, and I wanted to meet him. I thought, is he around? Stephen, who I know, maybe he'd introduce me to the writer because I just want to tell him, you know, what I feel about him. And then when I saw it was Oscar Wilde, I said, well, no chance of that. But I went on and became, as they say, obsessed, and Richard Strauss got obsessed with Oscar Wilde. Many people have. I'm not in a, you know, in a small group here. It's just, but I decided to try it, and I tried it as an actor, and I did it in costume, then I did it as a reader, many different ways, and found that I would have to do it somehow. Now, my style of making films varies, of course, but I think it's in the tradition of looking for Richard. It crosses over, it blends documentary with the play Salome, with the life of Oscar Wilde, which is, the further I dug into Oscar Wilde, his life, the more I was you know, inspired by it and moved by it, and sort of it projected me, really. But in a way, I didn't make a documentary just about Oscar Wilde because I didn't think that that was the thing. I thought in the actions of the piece that maybe he could be revealed in that way. There's certainly, you know, data up there on the screen that you'll hear about. Some of you will know, some of you don't know, and you'll be hearing it for the first time. So I'm doing this little introduction for no reason other than I was told to stand up there for about 10 minutes. So I'm doing the best I can, right? And what I'll do is I hope you enjoy it. It is, again, the spirit. You see, I come from off Broadway. So I call this an off Broadway movie. I grew up in the 60s in the Greenwich Village. I did all the cafe theater then. I was inspired by the living theater, and that's always the thing I go to in the end. When I make movies, I'm affected and, of course, so influenced by that period in our history. And you may see some of that, you may not, but we're moving it along, and hopefully you will enjoy it. Okay, and I thank you for this, and this great honor. Believe me when I tell you, it's great to be here. I thank you.